Before we get started and into the video, I just want to say that the camera angle might be a little bit weird and I might be kind of cut off in half of the frames. Basically, when I recorded this video, I literally just put my camera down on my shelf and I didn't even really check to see if, it looked alright. So apologies for that. I didn't really want to re-record the video because it was kind of like a vlog style video, so it wouldn't really make sense to re-record it. So hopefully you guys can put up with that. Anyway, on to the video. Today I have some bad news and also some good news regarding this channel, so let's get into that. Hey guys, welcome back to Tipharot, it's me Matt here, and you may notice that things look a little bit different. So today it's going to be a bit of a real talk video, and as is the tradition for some reason, I notice every YouTuber, whenever they do some serious real talk video, they always just do it vlog style with none of their equipment set up. Like they even have their equipment in the background, you may or may not be able to see, I've got my lights over there. So I'm just going to emulate that, I'm going to do it in that style. Mostly I just wanted to see if the lighting from outside was good enough to do a video, because I've got my bed set up here now, and so it's like a comfortable position to sit. I can sit my camera on the shelf where it is now, and then I've got light coming in the windows because the weather is nice and so on. So if it is good enough like this, then perhaps some of my videos will just be done like this rather than, with lighting set up and so on. Anyway, onto the subject at hand. A lot of you guys already know about this. There have been some problems going on with YouTube lately. Namely, a lot of advertisers have been boycotting YouTube and backing out from the platform. Now this is a problem for creators like myself because, well, ad revenue goes down when, ad companies leave the site. And this may even be a bigger problem for me than it is for a lot of other YouTubers, and that is because a significant portion of the money that I used to get by does come, in fact, from ad revenue. I'm not really a salesperson, I don't really know how to sell products very well, so I'm not really pushing products that often. I have products out, but you don't hear me mention them very often. I don't mention my Patreon page much and all of that. I mainly just focus on making lots of videos, and the good videos will get more views, and views bring in some ad revenue. Now, ad revenue from YouTube is very, very low. Like, you don't get much. I believe you're not allowed to say the exact amount per 1,000 views you get. So I'm not going to do that, but basically you don't get very much. And so, normally you can't really make a living off ad revenue. The reason my situation is different is a few things. For one, I'm in Poland, and so a dollar goes about, 3 times further here. So, while you might need, say, at least $1,500 in the US to get by, you can get by just the same with, say, $500 here. And so something like ad revenue can actually be viable. Now, the other reason is that I'm lucky enough to live in my parents' house, so I don't actually have to pay separate rent, I just pay for my food and my bills. So that saves me a huge amount, and that's the reason why I'm lucky enough to actually have been able to set up this channel in the first place, because they basically gave me the benefit of the doubt and said, okay, for the first few months while you're not earning anything, you don't have to pay us anything, you can basically live here free, and then once you start earning, you can start paying. So, that allowed me to start this channel, and now I'm at a point where, I'm paying for my food, I'm paying for my bills, and so on. But the problem is that I only just got, a few months ago to the stage where ad revenue was paying enough for that, combined with a few product sales here and there and so on. And now that has been threatened by all these advertisers leaving. YouTube have warned that, ad revenue may dip and, videos are going to be demonetized and all sorts. So that is an issue. However, I do think that a lot of people are blowing this issue out of proportion. I see a lot of people trying to boycott YouTube, leave YouTube, go to other video sites and so on. And I don't think that is smart. First of all, YouTube is the second largest search engine on the internet after, regular Google search itself. And so it has the largest audience. All these other video sites out there have, viewers in, the tens of millions, whereas YouTube has viewers in the hundreds of millions or even probably over 1 billion or so. Now the big thing that everyone blew up about is monetization. Basically, to try and make YouTube more advertiser friendly, YouTube staff have basically started demonetizing videos that, go against their terms of monetization. Now, their monetization terms say that you want advertiser-friendly content, and a lot of people don't read these terms and they don't know that, for example, swearing is something that is not advertiser-friendly. Talking about, drugs and substances is not advertiser-friendly. Talking about really controversial subjects is not advertiser-friendly. And so people don't read that, and they don't realize that that's going to get their videos demonetized. Just because they've been able to have those videos up for a long time doesn't mean that they were actually allowed to be monetized. And so now YouTube has started taking more active measures to demonetize the videos that don't, go by those terms. But the reason that everyone blew up about it is not the demonetization. It was the fact that there was a bug that basically meant you couldn't appeal. So when a video got demonetized by the automatic system, and it shouldn't have been, there was no way to get it monetized again, and so creators were losing lots of money. Now, I was lucky enough to not be affected whatsoever by this. I didn't have a single video demonetized, even though all these other people were getting, half their channel demonetized. And the reason for that is that I've paid attention to these rules since very, very early on. I, read through all the things that you're not allowed to talk about, if you want to keep your content advertiser friendly, and you'll notice that I do that. For example, if I talk about, my previous addictions here on this channel, I don't go into detail because that would be breaching the terms for advertiser-friendly content. I also try not to swear. If I catch myself swearing, then I edit that bit out and I retake it, and so on. So I was lucky enough not to have any videos demonetized, so that is not the problem for me. YouTube did state that this was a bug, and they are fixing it. In fact, I think they've fixed it already now, so that is no longer an issue. And I do think them actually demonetizing videos is a good thing. Hear me out here. If they demonetize more and more videos that basically go against their advertiser-friendly policy, then that means advertisers are going to have more confidence in the site, which means more advertisers are going to return to YouTube once they've left, and more new advertisers are going to come to YouTube, and that means higher ad revenue, which means for people like me who depend on ad revenue to actually eat and, to pay the bills, it means that the platform is more viable. So I'm actually all for demonetizing videos like that. I just, I want them to keep the appeal system there because it does happen in error. I had 2 videos demonetized several months ago in error, and I was able to appeal them, and within a day or so they were monetized again. But that happens, and so they do need to have a good appeal system, and I can understand why everyone freaked out, but there's no reason to keep freaking out about that. Now, the bad news is that there is reason to be worried about the advertisers leaving, because the situation could get worse. This is one of those things that snowballs, 2 big advertisers leave, so another 10 leave, so another 50 leave, so another 100 leave, and that leaves you with massive drops in revenue. So this is a problem for me because, if revenue is not enough to pay the bills or eat, then I can't make daily videos and so on. It's not viable. I would have to be doing another job, and so I wouldn't have time for this. So that is an issue, and this has pointed to the fact that I need to get my priorities straight in terms of YouTube. I need to actually look more at the products and the Patreon page and perhaps merchandise, stuff like that, that I can do to fund this channel rather than focusing so much on the ad revenue. I need to set up the channel in such a way that if YouTube demonetized all my videos, or the ad revenue went to nothing, that the channel would still be able to exist because I was still earning enough elsewhere. The good news is that means that I will be putting out more products for you guys, so I'm going to start on those soon, and I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I've got a couple of really big ideas in mind, and I think you guys will really like them, so I will let you know about those soon once I'm kind of closer to actually finishing those. So you will see more products from me. You'll also probably see me mentioning my products more. So I do want to say in advance, you will hear me talking about my products more often and about my Patreon page and so on. That's just the way things are going to have to be. Obviously, that's not going to change the content at all. All my videos are going to be free content. It's going to be the same as before, but you might hear me at the end of a video pointing out why you should probably get my Advanced Lucidity course, or why you should get my ebook, or one of my new products that are coming out. Now, for those of you that do want to help the channel out, then now is perhaps the best time to get yourself a copy of one of my products, or to support me on Patreon. I'll put a link to both of those in the video so you can check those out. And on Patreon, there are several different tiers, so you actually get something back for supporting me, so it's not just all one-sided. Now, I do want to clarify something here, and that is that those of you who don't have, the money to spare to support on Patreon, to buy products or whatever, don't feel obligated to do so. Because this channel is here to help you guys, so I don't want someone to be going out of pocket just because they feel, obligated to help the channel. Ultimately, the channel is my responsibility, and so it is my job to, make more products for you guys so that I am getting more from those sides of things, rather than it being, your job to support the channel. Now, if you do want to support the channel and you don't have the funds to do so on Patreon, don't worry about it. You can support the channel in other ways. You can engage in the community down in the comments below. You can message me on Twitter. You can tell your friends about the channel and introduce them to the channel. All of these things support the channel and help it grow. Now, some other good news, not so much channel related, is that I've basically finished setting up my room for now. I still do have a few things that I want to do. I want to replace a couple of things, and I also need to paint the walls because the walls are awful looking. You might be able to see it on the walls behind me. I'm not even sure if you can see there, but in the corner of the room the walls look horrible because there was furniture sitting in front of them. They look black basically, and it's supposed to be white. I will actually show you guys quickly the room, what it looks like currently. You have my view out, the mountains and so on, like you can see out there. It's a pretty nice view, and you can see actually the weather is warmed up, it's nice and sunny and stuff, finally. I'm glad that winter is over. Here you have a little cupboard stuff, and the door out, blah blah. Here you have just stuff that I have by the bed, like wallet, phone and so on. Here you have my bed, and you can see my sleeping mask there, and bed there. Here you have, this is actually the thing that I've been recording on recently, and you'll see that I've got the lights next to it. I don't really have a good place to put the lights, so they're kind of in the way and stuff. I just have like CDs and stuff in there, some old CDs, some like old games and stuff that I haven't moved. I've even got PlayStation games there, even though I don't have my PlayStation anymore. I put it like in the attic. That's just the thing for my camera. Here I have another cupboard with like all my books and stuff in there. It doubles as basically a bookcase. Here I have my subwoofer, and also you can see dirty as hell walls. Like, look how black that is. That really needs paint, yeah. You can see. Anyway, here's my subwoofer, my computer, my hard drives and so on, my amplifier. And here is where I sit and edit my videos and so on. You can see the microphone that I use for the audio only videos there. You can see my speakers on either side, which are the Dali Zensor ones. The subwoofer is a Jamo J12. And yeah, that's like my monitor there and my setup. And this is the chair that I sit in, which is kind of a bit creaky and like fully apart now. I don't know if you can actually hear it or not, but that possibly needs replacing. But yeah, that's the room that I record and live in, basically. If you do want to support me on Patreon, then click the link that's on screen. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and you can also check out my products if you're interested in either of those. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.